I want to start with a few CNN interviews that I thought were quite interesting over the last 48 hours or so. So I do watch Chris Cuomo's show. I think he's better than Don Lemon. I think he's better than most on CNN. And he decided he gets Trump surrogates on all the time. He gets Republicans on all the time. And they are always usually willing to come on Cuomo's show. They don't go on a lot of other shows, but they go on his show. And it makes for good television because it's a good back and forth. And it's a good debate. So Chris Cuomo invited Trump spokesman Tim Murtaugh on. Tim Murtaugh has not been doing a lot of press recently. But for whatever reason, he decided to go on Chris Cuomo's show on CNN.
He does a lot of Twitter stuff. He does a lot of digital stuff.
Yeah, he doesn't do a lot of TV interviews or radio interviews. And again, Hogan. If you look for Hogan Gidley, he's everywhere.
Well, I mean, Hogan Gidley and Tim Murtaugh, they look complete. Tim Murtaugh doesn't look like a TV guy. Hogan Gidley does.
Tim Murtaugh, not the best looking guy.
Exactly. He doesn't look the part. So I'm not surprised that he doesn't do a ton of TV.
Tim Murtaugh, if you got a Halloween costume with the face of Tim Murtaugh, it would be very popular because it's very scary. Anyway, Tim Murtaugh decided to go on with Chris Cuomo last night, and sparks flew. It got personal, and Republicans that usually go on with Cuomo, they like to bring up Cuomo's brother. Of course, he is the governor of New York. So there was a point during the interview yesterday where Cuomo's asking him about coronavirus and Donald Trump's response, and Murtaugh decides to hold up a picture of Cuomo and his brother laughing about Q-tips and coronavirus testing. Have a listen to this exchange because it's both awkward and very bizarre that he would bring this up.
You had your brother on for the Cuomo Brothers Comedy Hour. They're joking about the size of the Q-tip that you would need for his nose to get a test.
It was funny as hell.
So, first of all, I'm trying to understand why he would do that to begin with. The question was about Donald Trump. It was about the coronavirus response. And by the way, Cuomo has had his brother on plenty of occasions. Once in a while, they make a joke or two because it's TV and you want to be informative, but you also want to be entertaining. There's nothing wrong with that. That is, ladies and gentlemen, the definition of pivoting, but it gets worse. It then continued with the personal stuff, with Cuomo denying that his brother Andrew sent patients to nursing homes. Have a listen to this.
That's not true. And you know it, but you decide to say what you want to say.
True.
Tim,
he sent a hospital ship to New York that they really didn't adequately
They didn't need it. And thank God they didn't need it. Tim, listen, you are not going to flood the zone on this show.
Even though it was
Tim,
extra assistance.
I'm telling you, I'll cut you off. You're not going to flood the zone on this show. Now, you took your swing. It missed. So now let's discuss. That's the best you got? Is that my brother didn't take COVID seriously? Are you kidding yourself? That I made fun with him in a time of such acute distress.
Patients into nursing homes?
First of all, he never sent any, and you know that. You know that New York State is 46th out of 50th. But here's what you know most of all.
You can't even talk. Tim,
I know he did.
Taking responsibility.
You should read it, brother, and let me tell you why. You won't even talk about the president. You want to talk about my brother because you are coming from a place of weakness. You are in the middle of a pandemic.
No, I want to talk about people turning COVID and the coronavirus crisis into a political weapon, which is what CNN does all day long.
Okay, so first of all,
he's totally right.
He's totally wrong.
He's 100%
Here's
correct.
why. First of all,
it's not just CNN that does it. It's also governors that do it. And our governor is about to cost us the Sands Corporation, and the richest man in Las Vegas is about to move from
So that's
Las
a different
Vegas.
subject. Let's just focus on this audio quickly, if we may. Remember, it was Donald Trump at coronavirus press conferences that talked about the ratings at press conferences. Everybody has done it from time to time and used this as a political ploy. So for Murtaugh to bring that up is wrong, number one.
Hold on, when Trump brought up ratings, what he was saying is that despite the fact that people want to watch me, CNN hates me so much that they're hurting themselves by not having me on.
Anybody that's what he was saying. For anybody that says that Donald Trump hasn't turned the coronavirus spin into a political ploy to help him get votes, for anybody that thinks that he hasn't done the same thing is lying. So, but this is the point I want to make here. Again, the question from Cuomo and what Americans want to hear is Donald Trump's plan, because we're in some very dangerous times we're in right now. The question was about Donald Trump. The question was about the administration. Murtaugh not only doesn't answer the question, but makes it personal with Chris Cuomo. I have a serious problem with that, just like I have a serious problem with Murtaugh accusing Cuomo for breaking quarantine when he had COVID. Now, let me just give you a little bit of background on this story, if I may.
Because Cuomo accused Trump of not taking the virus seriously in the Trump administration. Okay. And Murtaugh is saying, hold on, hypocrite. You and your brother were laughing hysterically about it.
They weren't laughing.
That's not true. And you're accusing me or you're accusing us of doing something.
So hold on.
And by the way,
that's not true.
Chris Cuomo just blatantly lied. There is literally a document that was released on March 24th from New York, from Governor Cuomo, that says, hey, nursing homes take in patients that are positive with COVID-19 from hospitals. Precisely 1 week after the White House released a document saying to all the different states and all the different governors, do not do that. Do not let positive patients into nursing homes. So he's blatantly lying there. And Cuomo,
what you just said is not true.
Yes, it is.
Well,
Cuomo,
I'll respond.
I literally have the document.
That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about.
Cuomo and
you're bringing up 5 or 6 things. I want to talk about the first thing you said.
Cuomo and Whitmer right now are refusing to tally up and to tell the public the amount of deaths that were caused from that action.
Okay, so you mentioned 5 or 6 things.
I mentioned like 3.
Very difficult for me to respond to each and every one. I wish you had just mentioned one. So I want to talk about the first thing you said. Chris Cuomo and his brother were not laughing at the virus. They were not laughing at the people who lost their lives. They were not laughing at the hardships. In fact, in every interview, they talk about those hardships and what they're trying to do, or at least what his brother's trying to do. And for you to say that Chris Cuomo and his brother were laughing about the virus is not only factually inaccurate, but it's a lie. They made a joke about the Q-tips, about putting it up your nose, as many people do. That doesn't mean they're laughing about the virus.
They're making light of the virus.
Hold on, let me finish. Let me finish.
That Chris had the virus.
Okay, you got to let me finish.
Andrew could get the virus.
You got to let me finish.
Okay.
That doesn't mean they're laughing about the virus. That's not true. They're not laughing about the people that have lost their lives.
I'm not saying they were.
It's a TV. Hold on.
I didn't say that.
You got to let me finish, please. In a 25-minute or 30-minute interview, when talking about the coronavirus, they're making a couple jokes about how uncomfortable the swab testing is. They're not joking about people losing their lives. In fact, it's Chris Cuomo that invites people on the show all the time, that interviews people that have lost loved ones. The governor of New York has never laughed about the virus. That is absolutely and positively not true. For people out there that are Trump supporters that want to talk about context, this is a lie. Now, Murtaugh accused Cuomo for breaking quarantine when he had COVID. Let me start over again and let me give people a little bit of background on this. Yes, there was a point where Chris Cuomo had the coronavirus and he was quarantined from his family, but he did some stupid things. And there were times where he wasn't wearing masks. And the place that he rents in his complex in New York, which is, I would imagine, very nice, cited him for it.